Hey y'all, welcome to the channel, Toyastenaciouslife. This is your girl Toya. In today's video, y'all, we are going to talk about how I started cash budgeting. So how I actually initiated the process for me and my family. If that's something you would like to see, make sure that you stay tuned. Okay, y'all, so 5 things that I did when I started cash. But okay, y'all, the very first thing that I did when I started cash budgeting was I actually looked at how much money I was bringing in and I created a budget. So I looked back on all of the money that I spent towards bills and debt and everything from the previous month, and I created a budget off of that to see how much went towards bills and debt, to see how much I had left, to see what I was working with. The second thing that I did was that I tracked my expenses. Now, there are a couple ways you can do this. You can look back at your bank statements and track your expenses for the last month or two. You can also create a budget and then track your expenses for the next month and see where your money goes. I use that so that I could, number 3, come up with a list of categories for my weekly expenses, my mini savings that I needed, which is also called sinking funds in the cash budgeting community. So that tracking expenses and coming up with a list of categories was like a 2 and then 2.0, but that was my number 3. The other thing that the fourth thing that I did was I actually took a look, and this is a hard thing to do for some folks. I took a look at my debt. I looked at how much, whatever I was paying out of my check. I looked at how much I owed for each one, what the percentage rate was, and based on, however much I was paying, how long it would take me to pay it off. And so also what I was looking at was with the interest rates, would it be beneficial for me to take the lowest amount and pay that off first, and then use and then go to the next one and pay that off, and take the money that I was putting towards the first debt to the second one. That's called the snowball method in Dave Ramsey world. There's also the avalanche method, in which you look at your interest rates and you pay off the highest interest rate first, and then go down to the next interest rate and down until you get to the lowest interest rate and pay it off that way. Ultimately, I decided to do a hybrid of the snowball and avalanche method, but we will get into that in a later video. And the last thing that I did was I actually went online and looked up binders and savings challenges. There's so much out there. And number 5 is actually optional. You don't have to do that. If you have envelopes from the store, paper clips, binder clips, whatever it is that you have, you don't have to go out and buy something new in order to start cash budgeting. I did that because I found some binders that were cheap on Amazon. There were a set of 3, and it was easy for me to just transfer that over and get started. But you do not have to do that at all. Okay. I looked up savings challenges, trackers, and things like that, and just started buying little by little until I ended up with as many as I have now, which is a lot. So for me, those are the 5 things that I did as I was starting my cash budgeting journey. Let me know in the comments, what are some things that you did as you finally came to the realization that you needed to start budgeting, and you chose cash budgeting, or whatever budgeting that you chose. What are some things that you did to start off your journey? I hope some of this resonated with some of you. I hope for those that are kind of thinking about it, that this helped to kind of iron out just a few of the logistics of what it takes. I think the hardest part for me out of all this was looking at my debt. And that is definitely a hard pill to swallow. And so you don't immediately have to look at your debt in order to start budgeting. But as you line out and see how much of your money goes towards certain things, and if a lot is going towards debt, I guarantee you'll be like, okay, how can I get rid of this faster? And you'll find different ways to do that. So I hope you all enjoyed this short and quick video on how I started cash budgeting. In my next video, we are going to take a look at how I created a budget and how I use that budget to inform all of my spending for the month. All right, y'all. In between time and in the meantime, make sure you are tackling those goals and celebrating your successes. Okay. And for those of you that are still on the fence, this is your second sign. You know, if you're still here watching, looking at my journey, this is your second sign to definitely come on over to the dark side. If you got any questions or comments, tag them below, y'all. I would love to talk to y'all about anything, any and everything, whether you're on the fence, whether you've been doing it for a while. I would love to hear about your journey. All right. Hope to see y'all in the next one. Bye.